Alright, hey. Hey, what's up? This is Mike Deary from Rock Guitar Power, and I was just jamming along to a new software called Back Pocket Band by Hear and Play, which is really sweet. And in this video, I'm going to do a little review of it, show you around the software, and show you how I'm using it to have a lot of fun practicing and just enjoy the ability to have, you know, backing tracks and play along with a band. So Back Pocket Band is a series of backing tracks that allow you to play in a whole bunch of different keys, styles, and grooves. And it's really fun because as a guitar player, you really want to work with backing tracks and get that sense of what it's like to practice with a band. And this is a really awesome tool to do it with. And I'm going to show you some of the features on it and how I'm using it even for rock, because the initial release of Back Pocket Band is a little bit more in tune to like gospel praise music and good kind of funky grooves. But what we could show you is that you could use this for guitar any day of the week and for rock guitar. So I'm going to show you how I'm able to jam along with it. Now, one of the things that I really love about Back Pocket Band is that it's simple and it's easy to use. As far as backing tracks go, I remember I had a piece of equipment called the Boss Jam Station like years ago, and this thing was awesome because it was really flexible and you could add, subtract instruments, do everything in any key. You could create chord progressions and do all this crazy stuff. But it ended up being, you know, I would spend half my practice time sitting there with the box trying to get it to do what I wanted to do. Back Pocket Band is super easy to navigate around and find grooves and just get started with jamming. So let me jam to a quick groove real quick, and then I'll talk a little bit more about some of the features and tell you how you as a guitar player could utilize this. So I'm going to go to grooves. Let's look at groove 1, and we're going to jam in the key of G major. So you just hit it, plays. It starts off with a quick little drum groove, and then the bass comes in. Alright, cool. So here's the thing that you want to know on how to use this the best for guitar. So the grooves in all the different backing tracks are in all 12 major keys. So the reason why this is important to know, most guitar players are pretty addicted and stuck with using the minor pentatonic scale, which is a minor scale. And that's good because it just works. So what we want to know, the main thing you want to do is know how to use all these scales for the grooves. So remember, if you've ever heard of the theory concept of relative major and minor, for any major key, you could always use a relative minor to play on top of it. So for all you guitar players out there and want to stick with your rock minor pentatonic scale, whatever key you're in with your Back Pocket Band, always just go down 3 half steps. So if I want to jam in the key of E minor, or just let's just say simplified and use the E minor scale, if we go put our finger on the note E and go up 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3, we're in the key of G major. So if I'm using Back Pocket Band and select a G major groove, then I could use my E minor pentatonic scale and all the notes will work. The other thing I like about all these grooves is that they're very simple and the chord progressions are simple, so that you could play the same scale over the whole groove and it'll always work. Alright, some other great things about it is that each groove has 3 different tempos, and it's important because if you're just beginning or you want to practice some of the lines you're working on slower, you can easily do that with the slower grooves, and it keeps it, again, very simple. There's not a million different options, which helps you stay focused on working on you know, whatever techniques, licks, or whatever you're doing. Another thing that's really cool, all the backing tracks are just, right now at least, bass and drums. So it's cool because it's very stripped down, which helps you focus on melody, your guitar lines, and the other things you're doing. Let me give you another example. And also I'm going to kind of pop up the screen here so you could see the software a little bit easier. So if I navigate around, we start off by having drum grooves, or drums, grooves, praise, and shouting. Again, these are a little bit more in tune to gospel and that type of music, but these are a lot of fun, and you could rip over these because they're fast. Let me give you an example, actually. So if we go to like shouting, for example, you always have 3 different grooves, at least right now where the software's at. So let's go to, say, shouting 2. I haven't even checked all these out, so I don't even know what I'm in for. And you can see here that we have here's all the different grooves and all the different keys, all 12 major keys. So remember, if you want to play in a minor key, just use your relative minor and you're good to go. Something else that's really cool, though, that I would tell you that it's a great way to practice is that these grooves give you the ability to use your major and minor scales, your full 7-note major and minor scales. So most guitar players don't use them enough, and they're great. Problem is, most people don't have chord progressions that they know will work over them. All of these work great. So if you want, say, using a, let's say, F. Let's say I'm going to do F major, okay? So I could use an F major scale, or I could also use my D minor pentatonic scale. So let's try that out. We're going to pick F. We're going to go medium tempo because these suckers are fast, and then once we get comfortable, we'll get a little bit quicker. So here is the shouting groove in F. Alright, so that one will definitely keep you on your toes, and that's the medium tempo. So you can go faster, slower, change your keys. As you can see, I was jamming in F major, and then would switch to D minor pentatonic to kind of jam out more with these. Let's check out a different groove. So if we go, let's go back and we'll go to the grooves, and let's check out groove number 2, and this time let's jam in G major, and we're going to be fast. So what we could use now is the G major scale or your E minor pentatonic, which opens it up. Everyone loves jamming in E, so let's see what happens here. Alright, cool. So as you can see, it's got a really fun, funky kind of bluesy rhythm to it, which is a lot of fun to do bluesy lines and rock lines as well. So one other thing I'm going to show you real quick too is that they have a groove that are just drums. So if we go to drums, actually at the back, see, it's so easy to navigate this, which I love because you don't get caught up in looking at this, looking at that, tweaking this. Just select your groove and go. And because the grooves are very much the same, just in different keys and tempos, you really get accustomed to it and really focus on working on your melody and your lines, which is really important. You don't get distracted by all these other things that don't matter as much. So the drums are really cool because there's nothing else but a drum groove, which helps you work on riffs and just jamming on top of that. So let's try that out. I'm going to select a groove. You don't need to worry about key signatures, it's just drums. So you select the groove and just go with it. So let's see what happens. I'm going to do let's do that same groove I was just doing. So we're going to go to groove 2, fast. So we'll play this, just get a good drum groove going, and see what type of riffs I can kind of cook up with it. Cool, let's do one more. We're gonna go one of the fast ones again. You gotta love fast. So let's go to check out the shouting groove, and let's do shouting to medium. I've never checked this one out, so we'll see what happens. Alright, cool. Awesome. So as you can see, these are a lot of fun. I'm having a blast with it. It is super easy to use and set up. You just pop it on your PC and put your speakers on and play. I'm in my office right now, and I'm just kind of jamming to it. I should be working, but that's all right. It's really cool and easy to set up and play with anywhere. So definitely check it out. If you want to go check it out, check out the URL on the page right now, or go to rockguitarpower.com/go/backpocketband. And again, I think it's a really awesome tool that's going to help you get outside of your comfort zone a little bit as a rock player or any other guitar player. Again, the key is knowing how to work with what's there. And because it's super simple, everything's in major keys. You could do whatever key you want. And if you want the minor, just use your relative minor scales and you're good to go. And again, you got different grooves, different tempos, and it's just a really awesome practicing tool. And yeah, so a couple things I'd like to see in the future from it. Probably knowing what the chord progressions are, just for some of the advanced players, if you really want to follow the chord progressions and know exactly what chords are happening. It's a more of an advanced technique though, so if it's not there, it's not a big deal. Another thing too is knowing exactly what the tempos are. But I'm sure they're going to be developing this more in the future, getting more grooves and styles and all that cool stuff. And the other great thing, once you download the software, you download it to computer, all your grooves download at once. So whenever you play them, play right away. You don't have to worry about them loading or whatever. So yeah, so go check out Back Pocket Band by Hear and Play. It's a really awesome tool for jamming on, and that's about it. I'm going to jam out, so go check it out, and we'll see you soon. Let's do one more quick jam while I fade out. So let's go to grooves one more time. I'm going to do groove 1, and let's pick a really weird key. Let's do... let's see, F sharp major. Who jams in F sharp major? Well, let's try this out. So, if I'm in F sharp major, you could be in E flat minor or D sharp minor.